Welcome back to Car Show 1, the place where we explore the cars that stir passion, fuel adrenaline, and make automotive history. If you love machines that are more than just transportation, you're in the right spot. Today, we're diving into one of the most anticipated Ferrari models of our time, a car that represents not just power but heritage, style, and the survival of an icon. This is the 2026 Ferrari 12 Cilindri. The name alone tells you everything you need to know about Ferrari's intentions. 12 cylinders, naturally aspirated, front-engined, rear-wheel drive. In a world where hybrids and electric motors are becoming the norm, Ferrari has doubled down on what makes their cars legendary. They've created a machine that pays homage to the past while pushing forward into the future, a car that combines the raw soul of the brand with the technological sophistication expected from a modern supercar. The 12 Cilindri isn't just a replacement for the 812 Superfast, it's a statement: Ferrari's V12 still matters. Let's begin with Ferrari's V12 heritage, because the 12 Cilindri isn't arriving in isolation. Ferrari's identity as a manufacturer has always been tied to its V12 engines. The story goes back to the 1947 Ferrari 125S, which was powered by a small but mighty V12. Since then, the V12 has been the beating heart of Ferrari's Grand Tours and flagship models, from the 250 GTO of the 1960s to the Daytona, the 550 Maranello, and more recently, the 812 Superfast and Competizione. These engines have defined the sound, the drama, and the charisma of Ferrari. By calling this new model the 12 Cilindri, Ferrari is reminding us that they're not ready to say goodbye to that legacy just yet. The design of the 12 Cilindri is both futuristic and retro. Ferrari's design team at the Centro style, led by Flavio Manzoni, has taken inspiration from the Daytona of the 1970s, blending sharp lines, muscular proportions, and a sleek modern profile. The long hood stretches forward like a predator ready to pounce, while the rear is clean, sculpted, and powerful. The nose features a distinctive horizontal treatment, breaking away from the more aggressive grilles we've seen on the 812, giving it a more elegant yet purposeful look. The greenhouse is low and narrow, emphasizing its athletic stance. It's a car that doesn't scream with wings or vents, it whispers with elegance, then roars with presence. Step inside, and the cabin feels equally dramatic. Ferrari has gone for a driver-centric approach, using their dual cockpit layout where both driver and passenger have screens angled toward them. This means both can engage with the experience, whether it's the driver handling performance data or the passenger checking navigation and infotainment. High-end materials, carbon fiber, leather, and Alcantara dominate, but what stands out is the way Ferrari integrates technology without overwhelming the sense of tradition. You get the digital displays, the haptic controls, the advanced driving modes, but you also feel connected to the machine in a way that isn't sterile or artificial. The interior is a blend of modern Ferrari efficiency with the warmth of a Grand Tourer. Now, let's talk about what's under that impossibly long hood. The 2026 Ferrari 12 Cilindri carries a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12, a direct evolution of the engine found in the 812 Competizione. It produces around 830 horsepower and delivers its peak power at a screaming 9,250 revolutions per minute, with a redline stretching close to 9,500 revolutions per minute. Torque is slightly lower than turbocharged rivals, but that's not the point. The magic of the Ferrari V12 lies in its linear power delivery, the way it climbs through the rev range with relentless force, and the soundtrack it produces, one of the last great mechanical symphonies in an automotive world increasingly dominated by silence. The numbers are staggering. 0 to 60 miles per hour happens in about 2.8 seconds. Top speed is comfortably above 211 miles per hour, keeping it in hypercar territory. The dual-clutch 7-speed transmission snaps off shifts with immediacy, and Ferrari's electronics package, including rear-wheel steering, magnetic dampers, and electronic differential, ensures that the car feels as agile as it does powerful. The long-wheelbase Grand Tourer layout doesn't mean it's a blunt instrument. Instead, Ferrari has engineered a car that feels alive, capable of dancing on a mountain road and dominating on a racetrack. Driving the 12 Cilindri is an emotional event. At low speeds, you notice the refinement. The suspension is adaptive enough to handle daily roads, and the transmission is smooth in automatic modes. But bury your foot into the throttle and the car transforms. The V12 awakens, the exhaust valves open, and suddenly you're riding a wave of sound and acceleration that's unlike anything else on sale today. It's not just speed, it's theater. The steering, though electrically assisted, has been finely tuned to give clarity and feedback, and the rear wheel steering makes the car feel shorter than it is, allowing it to pivot into corners with confidence. This is a car that feels large when you look at it, but once you're driving it, it shrinks around you, becoming a precise tool of performance. But let's also consider where the 12 Cilindri fits in 2026. The automotive world is changing rapidly. Hybrids and EVs are dominating conversations, and even Ferrari has committed to electrification with models like the SF90 Stradale and the upcoming fully electric Ferrari. So why build a car like the 12 Cilindri? The answer lies in emotion and heritage. Ferrari knows that enthusiasts crave the V12 experience, and this car is about preserving that moment for a little while longer. It's the bookend of an era, a car that will be remembered not only for its performance but for its defiance of the times. Of course, ownership of a Ferrari like this isn't just about driving, it's about lifestyle. The cost of entry is astronomical, with prices well over $500,000 before options. Maintenance, insurance, and running costs are equally extreme. But for buyers in this market, that isn't a concern. What matters is exclusivity, prestige, and the connection to Ferrari's legacy. The 12 Cilindri isn't just a car, it's an investment, a piece of art, and a rolling statement of identity. Collectors already see it as a future classic, a model that will be remembered as one of the last pure V12 Ferraris. Now, compare it to rivals. Lamborghini is pushing hybrids with the Revuelto, Aston Martin has the DBS and its Valkyrie hypercar, and McLaren has largely gone hybrid turbo. None of them offer what Ferrari does with the 12 Cilindri, a naturally aspirated V12 that revs to the heavens. In that sense, Ferrari has carved out a niche that no one else can fill. It's a bold strategy, but it plays to the heart of what Ferrari is: different, emotional, authentic. It's also worth mentioning the design philosophy behind the 12 Cilindri. Unlike some hypercars that go wild with wings and ducts, Ferrari has leaned into elegance. The aerodynamics are functional but hidden, using underbody channels and subtle sculpting rather than overt spoilers. This ties it to Ferrari's GT history. Cars like the 365 GTB, 4 Daytona and the 550 Maranello, machines that combine beauty with brutality. The 12 Cilindri follows in those footsteps, creating a car that looks timeless rather than trendy. In the bigger picture, the 2026 Ferrari 12 Cilindri is more than just another supercar. It's a cultural object, a bridge between Ferrari's glorious past and its uncertain future. It proves that even in an age of electrification, there is still room for passion projects that stir the soul. This car may be one of the last of its kind, and that makes it even more special. As we close, think about what makes a car like the 12 Cilindri truly great. It's not just the speed, though it's blisteringly fast. It's not just the design, though it's stunning. It's the way it makes you feel. Every rev, every shift, every glance at its sculpted lines reminds you that cars can be art, that engineering can create emotion, and that the automobile, at its peak, is about more than efficiency or practicality. It's about passion. The 2026 Ferrari 12 Cilindri isn't just the future of Ferrari's V12, it's a farewell letter, a love song to the combustion engine, and one of the most significant grand tours of its generation. It's rare, it's emotional, and it's unforgettable. Thank you for joining us here on Car Show 1 for this deep look at the Ferrari 12 Cilindri. If you enjoyed this journey into Ferrari's latest masterpiece, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more car stories, and share your thoughts below. Would you pick the 12 Cilindri over a hybrid Ferrari or even a Lamborghini Revuelto? Let us know, and until next time, keep dreaming big and keep driving L with passion.